In this video I'm going to show you my chore chart and how I handle my kids doing their chores. I'm going to teach you how to get your children to help around the house depending on what age they are, the do's and don'ts of getting them to help, and also different chore charts that you could use in your own household. So I keep this one downstairs where my kids can easily access it. I have a 5-year-old and 2-year-old, so the chores are according to like their age, what they can actually do. And I don't want to overwhelm them with a whole bunch of chores. You don't want to make like 50 chores for them to do, so make it just really simple. These are ones that they do on a regular basis. And then when he does one, he can mark it off, and then he can get a sticker for it on this chart. I don't think kids should be paid to do all their chores. There's some that they need to do without a reward. You could praise them, make sure to like really praise them and make it specific for what they do. Not just say good job, but if they're making their bed, be specific about what they did that was a really good job. Here are the extra chores which he can do to earn money, and I'll give him 25 cents for each extra chore that he does. Now, this may be stuff that you don't want to do or stuff that you need help around the house to do that's extra from what they need to do on a regular basis. Having chores where they earn money, but of course you don't want them to expect money, so these are extra ones that they can do to earn money, and that will teach them the value of money, to work hard because not everything is going to be given to them, to save up so they can buy their own toys and candy. So when you go to the store, do not buy them toys or candy, that they can save up and earn the money themselves. And if you want, you can actually match whatever they earn. So if it's 10 cents or 25 cents, you could match it. So if it's a quarter, you would give them 2 quarters just to match it. Every child should have chores, whether you're rich and you can afford a maid or not. This is going to teach your kids the value of hard work, and also you don't want to send them to college and they don't know how to make their bed or clean up after themselves. They need to learn to do those things on their own. It's also good for them as well. They have some kind of structure and responsibility. You can do it so, okay, you could play once your chores are done, but also they can mark off. They could put a sticker on this chart, and once this chart is filled up, at the end, like down here, they can write like what kind of thing they would like to do. And I would say like an activity that you could do as a family, like if all your kids had finished their chores, or if it's just one child that finishes their chores, you could do a fun activity with them, like maybe having a pizza night, or going to Chuck E. Cheese or amusement park, or on my blog, www.pendletonmoms.blogspot.com, and you click on activity jar, there's a bunch of activities you could do with your kids. Now, it shouldn't be where, okay, once you get to the bottom, you have some time with mommy and daddy. Of course, you should have fun time with your kids every day, that they shouldn't have to work to get your attention. That should be something you should do on a regular basis. So this is something extra, like beyond that. Maybe an activity that costs money, or one that doesn't, but is like a major thing that you might not do regularly as a family. The ones that they do earn money on, you could either set up a savings account for them so they can learn how to save money, or get a piggy bank, which is what I have for my kids. So anytime I give them a quarter, they go and put it in their piggy bank, and they're so excited to do it. But that's at the age that they're at because they're so young. If you have older kids, you could have a list of stuff that they could write that they'll want to work to earn. Maybe there's something that they want and they could write it and they could work toward that goal. With teenagers, make sure you write it down. They'll need to have consequences, like if you don't finish, you don't get to play with friends. You might get your phone taken away. If you finish it, then you do get the Wi-Fi password for the day so they can access the computer, TV, whatever. To start them off at a young age. I have a 5-year-old and 2-year-old. Obviously my 2-year-old is not going to be able to know how to read all that. But he could still help with chores. Like, I still have him help pick up the toys. He knows how to put laundry into the bin, brush his teeth. If your children can't read yet, you could draw pictures or get some online that has pictures of different stuff that they need to do. So if it's a bed, they'll know, like, okay, they need to make their bed. Here are some different motivators, so every time they do a chore, they can move from one to the other until it's finished. Stickers. I agree to. You write the chores, and they get to color in a baseball, and they'll earn something. And here's another one where they can color the marbles and make some more. When the jar is full, they get something, but you can also do like a real jar and put marbles in for each time that they do a chore, and they'll get something when it's full. You don't want to remind them what the chore is that they have to do. Did you make your bed? Did you make your bed? Did you make your bed? You're just teaching them not to listen to you the first time. So you tell them once, you don't tell them again, even if they're not doing it at that moment. And you should give them a deadline, just do it by like the end of the day. So at least that they're making it, sometime during the day. You don't want to tell them to do it right now. Also, don't get on them if they don't do it right. Like, my son is 5 years old, and I taught him at the beginning just like how to make the bed in the first place, and I told him, like, you should see a little bit of red down here so you could see a little bit of the bed. But as you see over here, it's not like that. But I'm not going to bring them in here and be like, hey, did you see you didn't do this right? Because then they're going to be like, okay, why am I doing any chores if nothing I do is right? So you just don't nag them. They're going to do it their own way. Don't come in here and fix it, because then it's just saying, well, what you did isn't good enough. I'm going to fix it anyway, so why even bother doing the chore? So don't try to fix something if it's not perfect. Not everything is perfect, so it's fine the way it is. If you give them a chore and they don't do it by the end of the day, you don't bring it up, and you could do it two ways. Either when they're about to go to bed and they're really sleepy, just be like, you know what, you forgot to do your chores, so you need to do them before you go to bed. And they're going to hate that because they really, really want to go to bed, so they'll probably learn the first time. Or the next day when they want to watch TV or go out with their friends, and you're like, no, remember you didn't do your chores yesterday, then they'll start to remember their chores. And you have to stick with the discipline. Even if they're like, okay, I'm going to do my chores right now, please let me go out if I do them. It's like, nope, you know what, you could try again tomorrow if you get your chores all done in time. But you just have to take away one of their consequences, or give them a consequence if they don't do something, and stick with them. It's discipline, and I think each child needs discipline. Otherwise, you're setting them up for failure. If your child says that they didn't hear you, just say, well, next time just listen a little better. They're going to do whatever they can to get out of the consequence, but you have to stick with it. Otherwise, they're going to be able to walk all over you. You can go to goalforit.com, and it's 100% free. Here's one I did for my son a few years ago, and you can choose the theme up here. They have ones for like boys and girls or solid colors, and I'll put your kid's name in. You could change the month. You could add what kind of chores you want to add on here, and they come with like pictures, and then you could print it off and they could check it off or do stickers and like what they'll get. It's familychores.com, and if you don't use this, at least this gives you a good idea of like chores your kids can do. Another one is mychoreninja.com, and you could do this one for free, or you can start paying, and I'm not interested in like paying to have someone try and get my kids to do chores, but here's another option.